Daniel Levy says last night, Simon, we have 10 Premier League games remaining and we have a fight in our hands for a Champions League place. We all need to pull together. Everyone has to step up to ensure the highest possible finish for our club and amazing loyal supporters. So he's praising the fans, Simon, but he's getting a kicking from some of those fans this morning. Is that right and just that he does?
I don't think so. I think people will wake up in the morning with a hole in their sock if they're a Tottenham fan of a certain ilk and blame Daniel Levy for the hole in their sock. I think the bottom line is that Tottenham have made decisions to appoint certain managers, and I think they've gone for what looked like best in class, nailed on winners, and they've got them at the wrong time. Mourinho and Conte. I was one of the loudest voices in the room when we were discussing the Conte appointment and suggesting absolutely all day, every day, Conte. But that's the version of Conte that I thought would come through the door, understand the brief. The brief was to make Tottenham really competitive, solidify a top four spot, and then build from that. But that's what he's doing, and that's what the team are doing. They finished fourth last year, okay, because Arsenal choked at the end, but notwithstanding it, the end of the season figures said fourth. They're fourth now. So where's the issue? The issue is they got knocked out of an FA Cup at a stage when they perhaps could have got to a quarter-final, semi-final with the draw that they had. They've got knocked out of the Champions League. Without really laying a glove on AC Milan, who are an average side. Yeah. And over March and recent times, they've been a little bit fragile. But Conte should be doing better. So just going after Levy is just one-dimensional all the time.
Simon, answer me this. Elite managers, and Martin, I want your take on this as well, but Simon, elite managers, we saw what happened to Mourinho at Tottenham, Conte at Tottenham. They blow it. Why do elite managers blow it?
I just told you.
They blow it.
Because if you get an elite manager, a previously perceived elite manager, at the wrong time, then ultimately they're no longer at the top of their game. Mourinho is not the Mourinho version.
Could it not just be about the culture? Could it not just be the culture that exists?
And there could be a part of that as well, Martin.
I think that's what he's trying to say.
But that's priced in, though, isn't it?
His parting shot is basically to say, look, before I go, you want to blame me, that's fine. But by the way, these are a list of all the things that are wrong at this football club.
But no one was blaming him, were they? That's the thing.
No, so they do need to look at each other, don't they? But obviously, Conte needed to look at himself as well. I don't think he evolved enough, Jim. This 3-4-3 system is, I don't think it works too well. You know, the wing backs, the amount of work they have to do is disproportionate to the rest of the team.
But where's the argument, Martin?
And they weren't good enough, his wing backs.
But where's the argument? They finished fourth in the league in 18-19, right, and get to a Champions League final. They finished sixth in the league in 19-20. They finished seventh in the league in 2021. They bring Conte in. They finish fourth. And they're now fourth again. Where's the argument that they're not actually evolving? What the argument is not evolving perhaps as quickly as the resume that Conte would have.
Do you think they're going forward?
I think they're probably flatlining a little bit. But if you finish sixth in the league and seventh in the league in the preceding two seasons before Conte, and you finish fourth and you're in fourth spot, then you're progressing. But what you're not doing is you're not killing the argument by winning a cup. And you've had an opportunity to win the cup. You just chose to allow a team to get knocked out by Sheffield United.
I thought, that, to be honest, I thought he was the star man there in terms of keeping them in the top four.
I think now that didn't we?
Jim, now that he's gone, I think it's really in doubt that they end up in the top four. We've got Newcastle now starting to re-emerge as a football club. Incredible 2 games in hand. You've got Liverpool then galloping on their shoulder.
Yeah.
The next one up is they will do between now and the end of the season. They're pedigree teams. Brighton as well. Brighton have got an opportunity to go above them.
If Liverpool win both their games in hand, which is an if, they're still behind Spurs.
Would you have had part of the problem staying on? Like Stellini, Simon, like Ryan Mason, both of whom were there under Conte?
I think in most instances I would argue emphatically toward that point. But I'm not sure that Stellini was cut, albeit from the Conte cloth in terms of brought him in. I think Stellini perhaps did a slightly better job with the players than Conte did. Although saying that,
his staff,
he was in situ when they lost to Sheffield United. Yeah. I mean, look, the bottom line is that Stellini's staying. For whatever reason, Daniel's decided that rather than Ryan Mason going along. I'm honestly, this sounds very flippant. I think you could have put Elmer Fudd in the dugout for the last 10 games and they'll do better than this for current version of Conte with his attitude as way it is.
Martin, at the beginning in North London, did you ever see Arteta outlasting Conte?
Yeah, I did actually, because if you look at Conte, he's only managed 2 years in every job he's been in the last, since 2016. 2 years as Italian manager, 2 years at Inter Milan, 2 years at Chelsea. So, no, I think that Arteta was always for the long term, and it was about, believing in the process, and look how...
So is Conte never going to be long term?
I don't think he is, Jim, no. I think he's a man who goes in... I think it might be difficult to hear, and you look at people that... are successful type personalities, Jim, and do they go down as troublemakers? They want to make change, and it upsets people.
Yeah.
And I think you look at that Spurs dressing room, I don't know if they could cope with it. They don't seem to have been able to manage the personality of the manager. Whether they grow from this now, I expect they will. I expect they will. When a powerful person leaves, sometimes there's always a kickback and there's a freedom and you can be free in your minds and play with the creativity. Maybe that'll happen, Jim.
But
his organisation, I think it's in doubt now.
I mean, ironically, he wouldn't have left Inter Milan if there wasn't this meltdown of their economics and they felt the need to sell their top players. He won the league with Milan.
Yeah,
and then what happened was they go, we've got no money left, we have to sell Lukaku. So he goes, I'm not having any of that, because of course you only can have what you want. You can only have what you want in management terms. You can't ever have anything you don't like. And so he left. So he would have actually probably been staying at Inter Milan for 3 and 4 years if he'd have had the opportunity to.
So Levy brings a manager in, a known manager who wants to get involved in the boardroom, wants to get into dispute with the club if he feels he's going to lose his best players. Was it the best, really, looking back?
But which best players has he lost at Tottenham?
Well, no one. But he knew in the end that the manager was going to keep pushing for more. He wanted more.
There's pushing.
He was saying, well, look, okay.
He knew he could have been in fighting trouble when he got Conte.
The players I got were low. Most of the players we signed were on loan, for goodness sake.
I want you for 60 million quid.
Kulusevski was there for a year. Romario was there, wasn't he, ahead of his signing. So all these players he was pointing to saying, well, we had them in position already, so we're not growing this year because they were there last year anyway. Richarlison was probably the only one.
You say, Simon,
and he couldn't get a tune out of it.
Mourinho and Conte, elite, yes, but at the wrong time. There's Jason in Brighton, Tottenham fan. We didn't get Jose and Conte at the wrong time. It's because they are grand master tacticians, but we didn't have the pieces on the board. We actually need a coach to improve players.
I mean, I've been listening, and that's true too. I've been listening to Tottenham fans on the whole pouring into into various shows when they've watched their side, going, "What in God's name are we watching? What is Conte producing out there? Why have we got the handbrake on in every single game for the first half?" Who's that then? Was that Daniel Levy's fault then?
No, but I think it's the manager feeling that he couldn't trust the players to play with complete freedom.
Is that the owner's fault then?
So it's like, let's stay in the game long enough to win it, but they kept going behind in games.
Bournemouth?
They kept going behind in games.
Like that,
I know it's hard to take, but he's feeling that that's where the club is, and he's step by step, and he didn't have the resources to make it
a week tonight, they're at Goodison taking on Everton. Tottenham back, and they're at Everton. Everton fighting for their lives. That is live on talkSPORT. But the hard work for Messrs Stellini and Mason really starts now. Conte's in Italy. He won't be back. He's gone. Gone last night from 11 o'clock. So what now for Tottenham? And is it a club that's gone forward, backwards, or found their level? Very keen to hear from you. So many you want to share your view with us this morning, and we like that. 03717 223344 810 89. We're at 10:30 already.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.